morning, students. Welcome to your online class of biology. Students, as you know, this is your second class of your biology. In the last class, we have started a new chapter named Human Reproduction, where we have already studied about reproduction, importance of reproduction, different types of reproduction, and finally, we got a fair knowledge about gametes and gonads. Today, we are going to continue the chapter and further study the human reproduction in details. So, let's start the class. Today, we are going to study the male reproductive system in human. Students, it's very important for us to have a good knowledge about the reproductive system in male and female to study the human reproduction in details. So let's see what the male reproductive system comprises. As you can see here, the male reproductive system in human mainly comprise a pair of testes, accessory ducts, glands and external genitalia. Today we will discuss all these four parts of the male reproductive system one by one in details. So let's first start with the testes. Testes are usually found in the scrotum. This scrotum is nothing but a sac-like structure which is found in the abdominal cavity of human male. The main function of the scrotum or the scrotal sac is to maintain the temperature. This temperature range is usually 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius. Students, it's very important for you to know that this temperature should be maintained within the testes, because if the temperature rises above this degree Celsius, then the sperms may be destroyed. So the main function of the scrotum or the scrotal sac, which encircles or covers the testes, is to maintain the temperature between 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius. Next, the testes is usually oval in shape, of length about 4 to 5 cm and 2 to 3 cm wide. Each testis has numerous small compartments within it, which are known as testicular lobules. As you can see here, I have drawn a picture of the testes. This is a single testis drawn over here, and these are the compartments. Compartments actually means the divisions. These are the small compartments which are known as the testicular lobule. Further, if you see, you will find that one testicular lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. So see students, in the next picture I have again drawn the same testis. Again I have shown the compartments which are known as the testicular lobules, and in these compartments here you can see that each compartment contains this coiled tube-like structures which are known as seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules are very important, students, because this is the place where you will find male germ cells, Sertoli cells and the Leydig cells. Now let's first see what is the function of these three cells. The main function of the male germ cell is formation of the sperm. So actually these male germ cells are responsible for the production of sperms in the testes. Next comes the Sertoli cells. These Sertoli cells provide nutrition to the growing cells. Here cells refers to the sperm cell. Now, one thing should be noted over here is the male germ cell and the Sertoli cells are found inside the seminiferous tubule. Okay. So again I am saying male germ cell and the Sertoli cells are found inside the seminiferous tubules, where the male germ cell produces sperms and the Sertoli cell provide nutrition to the growing sperms. What about the third type of cell, that is the Leydig cells? These Leydig cells also have an alternate name and are known as interstitial cells. These cells are actually found in the outer space. Outer space. See students, I am actually trying to shade out the outer space to make it more clear to you. These Leydig cells are found in this outer space surrounding the seminiferous tubules, and that's why they are also known as the interstitial cells. Their main function is to synthesize and secrete androgens. Many of you may know about androgens, but to some this name is new. Androgen refers to the testicle hormones. So the main function of Leydig cell is to produce the testicle hormones, which actually regulate the process of formation of sperms. So the function of the Leydig cell is actually a regulatory function. So this was all about the testes. Outerly, the testes is found in the scrotum. From inside, the testes have many chambers or compartments which are known as testicular lobules. These testicular lobules have highly coiled seminiferous tubules, and these seminiferous tubules comprises three different types of cells, which are male germ cell, Sertoli cell and Leydig cells. Next, the next part of the male reproductive system is the accessory ducts. The accessory ducts are nothing but the tube channels which actually transfer the sperms from the testes to the external genitalia during the process of copulation. And they are usually 4 in number. The very first one is rate testes. Each seminiferous tubule opens into a rate testes. These rate testes then open into vas efferentia or vas efferens. Then these vas efferentia leave the testes and open into a coiled tube-like structure which is known as epididymis. And finally, the epididymis leads to the vas deferens, which is the last accessory duct, which opens into the urethra as the ejaculatory duct. To make my point more clear, I have drawn here the next picture. As you can see, this is the testes, testicular lobules, seminiferous tubules. These fine structure are the rate testes. So you can see all the seminiferous tubules are opening into this tube-like structure which is the rate testes. Then these rate testes are opening into the vas efferens. These ducts are the vas efferens. Now with the help of the vas efferens, the sperms, when they come out, they actually leave the testes and enter this coil structure which is known as the epididymis. And finally, the epididymis open into this vas deferens which take out the sperm completely outside and open into the urethra as the ejaculatory duct. One thing should be noted over here, that in case of human male, the reproductive and the urinary tract is common, and this is the reason the vas deferens opens into urethra, and you have studied about urethra in the excretory system. So this was about the accessory ducts. Finally, we have the gland. The male reproductive system mainly consists of 3 types of gland. The very first is the seminal vesicle. The function of the seminal vesicle is to produce the majority of the fluid that makes up the semen. What is semen over here? During the copulation, while the ejaculation occurs, the sperm along with the fluid is known as the semen. The sperm is produced in the testes, which we have already discussed, and the fluid which constitutes the remaining part of the semen is the product of the seminal vesicle. Next, the next gland is the prostate gland. This gland actually provides the alkalinity to the semen. As I have already told that the sperms are very delicate in nature, and the temperature which is maintained inside the testes is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius. And hence this gland provides alkalinity so that the sperms don't get destroyed. Finally, there is a P-shaped gland below the prostate gland which is known as the Cowper's gland. This Cowper's gland also have an alternate name and is known as bulbourethral gland. The main function of this gland is to provide lubrication. This lubrication is actually the slippery nature of the semen which comes out during the ejaculation process. So students, as you can see, this is your book, and this is the male reproductive system about which we have discussed today in the class. This is the testes. These fine compartments are the testicular lobules which contains the seminiferous tubules. Then there is the rete testis which is not quite visible over here. After that there is vas efferens. Then the coil structure known as the epididymis. Then we have the vas deferens which is opening as the ejaculatory duct. You can see here this leaf-like structure which is present just below the vas deferens is the seminal vesicle, students, which is the first gland and provides the liquid medium for the semen. This is the prostate gland which is present below the seminal vesicle and provides alkalinity to the testes. And this P-shaped structure is the bulbourethral gland or the Cowper's gland which provides lubricancy. Finally, the sperms comes out to the external genitalia which is the penis. There is an extra skin fold on the outermost surface of the penis which is known as the foreskin. The sperms after the ejaculation finally leave the male body. So this was all about the male reproductive system. In the next class we shall discuss about the female reproductive system. That's all for today, students. Thank you.